solve this question.
Okay, sir.
Either you can write it in your copy or register or notebook, or you can tell me verbally that what will be the journal entry for these transactions.
I will write it and give you.
Okay, so please try to solve this question.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have to do these questions right now.
What?
I have to do these questions right now.
Yes, right now.
Okay.
Done?
No, sir. Last three questions. I finished, sir.
Okay. So tell me the entries.
Okay. First one is accrued interest account debtor to interest account.
Okay. Accrued interest account debit to interest. Yes, interest receivable, you can say. Accrued received is also called interest receivable. Okay, so interest receivable account debit to interest.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Salary account to outstanding salary account.
Very good.
Okay. Then prepaid rent account to rent account.
Okay. Prepaid rent account debit to.
Rent account.
This is incorrect.
How?
Okay. It is said that out of the rent paid this year, 5,000 is for the next year. So prepaid rent is assets for us, assets for us.
Prepaid rent is an asset for us?
Yes.
Yes.
Because if you paid rent in advance, that you then you can live in that building or room for next few times because you paid the rent in advance. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So that's why it is assets for you. Now rent is not due. Okay, and here rent is expenses for us. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if rent is expenses, then how can it be credited?
Oh, all expenses should be debited.
Yes, so rent should be debited, but in this entry, actually, rent is not incurred yet. So it is advance rent. So you will write prepaid rent account debit to cash account.
Oh, okay, sir. Prepaid rent account. Okay, sir.
We will not mention rent because it is advance rent.
Okay, sir.
So prepaid rent account debit to cash account. Next is
A depreciation account to furniture.
okay. How much amount?
10,000, 10,000.
10,000. Very good. 1 lakh into 10,000, 10,000. Okay. Next.
Furniture account debtor to purchase account.
Furniture account debit to purchase account. How much?
4,000, 4,000.
Very good. We will not take sale price because it is our goods. Okay, it is our stock. So we will take inventory at cost for use in furniture.
Okay, sir.
Next.
Next one. Okay, sir. I will just tell you. I have a doubt on this one.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, so we are receiving check and also commission. So we will write both of them in debtor.
Yes, we will write both of them in entry. What will be the entry is received commission of 20,000 by check. Okay, and half of which is in advance. So commission received is income for income for company. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, we are receiving check. So we will write bank account debit to commission.
Sir, I can't see the screen.
Okay. Bank account debit to commission and to advance commission. Half of this is income and half of this is a liability because it is received in advance. So 20,000, so 10,000 is income for us, 10,000 is liability. So 20,000 into 10,000 is 20,000 plus 10,000 is income. So 10,000 into 10,000 is 20,000 plus 10,000 is liability. So 20,000 into 10,000 is 20,000 plus 10,000 is income for us, 20,000 into 10,000 is liability. So 20,000 into 10,000 is 20,000 plus 10,000 is income for us, 20,000 into 10,000 is liability. So 20,000 into 10,000 is 20,000 plus 10,000 is income for us, 20,000 into 10,000 is liability. So 20,000 into 10,000 is 20,000 plus 10,000 is income for us, 20,000 into 10,000 is liability. So 20,000 into 10,000 is 20,000 plus 10,000 is income for us, 20,000 into 10,000 is liability. So 20,000 into 10,000 is 20,000 plus 10 and 10,000 is related to next period. So it is liability for us right now. Okay.
Okay.
So this will be your entry. The next
Yes.
one.
Interest on capital account to capital account.
Very good. And the next one is
Capital account debtor to interest on drawing.
okay, but you should write interest on drawing is income for the firm. So you should write drawing account debit to interest on drawing.
Okay, sir.
Okay, you can write capital also, but drawing will be better. Okay, so these options, yes. So let's understand the concept of tax here. A little bit of tax you should understand so that you will able to solve the question of GST also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Tax. Actually, GST is included in your syllabus, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
No. There is two types of tax. You know,
No, sir.
the one is direct tax, and the second is indirect tax. Now, what is direct tax? Let's understand this by example. This is a person here, and it is a government. So every person needs to pay its taxes to the government.
Yes, sir.
So when a person directly pay tax, his tax to government, then it is called direct tax. And when a person pay its tax to some other person, and that some other person will pay the amount to tax government. Okay, so this is called indirect. Okay. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. It means tax implication is on one person and tax is paid by another person by collecting from that person. Okay. So this person is liable to pay tax. A is liable to pay tax, but B is collecting the tax from A and then B is paying money to the government. So the tax implication is on one person and payment is done by another person. But in direct tax, tax implication is on the same person and tax is also paid by same person to the government. So it is called direct tax. Okay. Direct tax example is income tax or wealth tax. And in indirect tax, there is, you can say, previously it is sale tax and service tax, but now it is replaced by GST. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what does GST means? GST means goods and service tax. goods and service tax. Now there is two tax included in this one, goods and service. When we sell product, or when we sell service, there's two type of work that can be done. Either you sell some product or you sell some service. Can you tell me one example of sale of service?
Okay.
What is service means here?
Service. Service. Service and service. I don't know. Hello.
Okay, so you don't understand?
No, sir. Service means service.
Okay, you don't know the meaning of service. Okay, so I have written two terms here, sale of product and sale of service. Okay. So when you go to a shop, let's say grocery shop or a cloth shop, so you purchase a ready-made garment from them or some grocery, okay? They charge you tax on those items, okay? So this is called sale of goods, sale of product, because they are selling you their product, what they are selling. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is first, sale of product. The second is when you go to a teacher, when you go to a lawyer, when you go to a doctor, they don't sell you product. Yes?
Yes, sir.
What they do?
They give out service.
Yes. They do some work for you, you can say. Like a doctor treat persons, lawyer represent person in the court, and teacher teaches the subject or anything else to the student. Yes. So they are not selling their product. They are selling their knowledge, you can say. They are doing some work for you. This is called service.
Yes, sir.
So when we sell product, the tax is applicable, and here tax is payable, and when we sell service, then tax is payable. Now, who will pay this tax to the government?
The
Who will?
person who
Yes,
the person who's giving out product and service.
the person who is selling their product or providing service. Yes,
Yes, sir.
okay. But do they actually pay the money to the government?
Yes, sir.
No, actually, they do not pay the tax to the government. Actually, we are paying tax to them, and then they take our money, our tax money, and then they pay it to the government. Like when we go to a shop, let's say we purchase this mobile phone. Okay, so if you have seen the invoice, the receipt of any product you have purchased, you have seen that product amount is, let's say, 10,000 here, or let's say 30,000. The mobile phone price is 30,000, and there is some GST added here at the rate 18%. So they will charge you this amount, 35,400 they will take from you for this mobile. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And after that, they will go to the government and pay this 5,400 to the government. So who is actually paying this tax?
Us.
Yes, us, the customer. So customer is paying the tax to the shopkeeper, and then the shopkeeper will pay it to the government. Okay. So the actual implication is on us, and they are just taking our tax and paying it to the government. Is this clear?
Yes. Yeah.
No. So this is our indirect tax concept. Now, there is three types of GST we need to study here. Three types of GST.
Okay.
Which one is actually, have you seen any of the product like written on that product inclusive of all taxes?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have your TS Graybal book?
Huh?
Do you have your book?
My textbook, yes, sir.
Okay. So is there any price written on that book? No?
No, sir, I covered my books already.
Okay, no problem. So generally in India, if you see a product, okay, their price will be written on that product, and there is a line written in the bracket inclusive of all taxes, like this. Okay. Okay. Just wait 1 minute. Okay, actually, I'm not able to find it, so I will show it to you in the next class. Okay. So whenever we see a product, the price of which is inclusive of all taxes, so they collect tax from us and then they pay it to the government. So the process is GST, three types. The first one is SGST. The second one is CGST. And the third one is IGST. Now, what are the full form of this? SGST means the state goods and service tax. CGST means central goods and service tax. And the last one is IGST. It means integrated goods and service tax. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So there is three types of GST: SGST, CGST, and IGST. Now, what are these? So generally, the government structure in our country is there is a central government and there is a government in every state for governing that particular state. Okay. So some part of GST is collected by state government and some part of GST is collected by central government. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And IGST is combination of both of these. SGST and CGST combined is IGST. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, there are different states. Can you tell me 2 or 3 names?
State goods and service tax.
No. I'm asking about name of states.
Why?
Yes.
Every state.
No. Only 2 or 3 states name. Okay. Leave it.
Okay, sir.
Actually, I'm telling you. I am from Bihar. So it is a state here. Nearby state is Jharkhand. And there is Delhi. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And all these states are under Indian government. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So if one person is purchasing, let's say there is 2 person A and B. Okay. And A is purchasing goods from B, and both of them, A and B, both are in a single state. They are residing in a single state, let's say Delhi. Okay, so A is also residents of Delhi and B is also a resident of Delhi. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so in this case, if transaction is done, then seller and buyer both are in Delhi. So single state transaction. It is called intra-state transaction. Okay. So if the transaction is done in a single state, it is called intrastate transaction, and CGST and SGST is applicable on that transaction. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Means on that transaction, some of the tax will go to central government and some of the tax will go to state government. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And the percentage is also specified, so there is no confusion here. Now, if A is from Delhi and B is from Bihar, and A is selling goods to B, then it is called interstate transaction.
Oh,
Okay.
sir. Okay, sir.
So now interest rate transaction. So when we do the interest rate transaction, then IGST is applicable. Now in IGST, it is generally paid to central government, but in this IGST, central government again transferred some portion to state government. Okay, but it is directly paid to the central government. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So there is two types of transaction: intrastate, intrastate. Intrastate transaction, when there is a transaction in a single state, means seller and buyer both are in a single state. And when a seller is from different state and the buyer is from different state, then it is called interstate transaction. Then IGST is applicable. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is the journal entry for these type of tax? So when we purchase goods, and GST applicable 18%. Now, first of all, we have to decide that this transaction is interstate or intrastate. For that, we have to know that seller place of business and buyer place of business. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let's say both are in Delhi. Then the journal entry will be purchase account debit. Generally, what we do, purchase account debit to cash account. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Purchase amount is 50,000. But the cash payment will not be 50,000 because now GST is applicable here. Okay. And if it is intrastate transaction, means within one state, then SGST and CGST input will be written. Now it is 18%, so 9% will be SGST and 9% will be CGST. So 4,500 and 4,500. Total amount will be 59,000. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Is this clear? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when we purchase goods, then we have to pay tax to the shopkeeper. Okay. And this is called input. So if we are paying CGST, then it will be called CGST input. And if we are paying SGST, then it is called SGST. And if this is interstate transaction, then we will write IGST. Now, for sale of goods to sale of goods for cash, rupees 80,000, GST applicable 18%. Now we are selling goods now, so cash account debit. The entry was cash account debit to sales. So cash account debit to sales account will be written, and now CGST output and to SGST output. So the amount of sale is 80,000 and 18% GST. So 9% CGST, 9% SGST. So 7,200 and 7,200. So it will be 94,200. Okay. Now, after all this, we have to pay the money, pay the tax to the government. Okay. Now, if we are selling goods, then this tax should be paid. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And we will collect this tax from our customer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we are purchasing goods here, and we have already paid to the shopkeeper this amount. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So the amount payable is this, but we have already paid this amount. So we will deduct this amount from output tax. So input tax is deducted from output and then the amount is paid. So for payment of CGST output account debit 7,200 to CGST input account 4,500 and to CGST payable. So the balance amount will be paid. It will be 2,700. Same in the case of SGST, same entry. So it will be SGST output account debit to SGST input account and then to SGST payable account. 7,200, 4,500 and 2,700. Is this clear? So input is deducted from output, and after that, amount which is balance is payable to the government. Okay. Do you have any doubt in this?
I guess after solving the problems, I will.
Okay. Yes, you will able to solve the problem after these entry, I think. But if you have any problem, you can ask questions after solving one or two questions. Okay. So after deciding the amount payable, you have to pay this amount to the government. So SGST payable is 2,700, 2,700. And also CGST payable is the same amount. So CGST payable account debit to cash or bank account. So 2,700, 2,700 and 5,004. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, I will solve a portion on the basis of this transaction, these GST transaction in our next class. Okay. So I will give you the assignment related to GST and you try to solve those questions. If there is any problem, any doubt, then you can ask those questions in our next class. But before discussing the question in our next class, you have to send me the solution that you have done in your notebook. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So is there any doubt in any of today's topic?
No, sir.
Okay, then that's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.